Good evening. This is my weekly church tip, and this week I'm going to address ushers. For those of you that go to church late and you want the usher to usher you up almost to the pulpit, to the front row, and he or she cannot do that because you're late and most of the seats are taking, stop arguing with her and being disrespectful with him or her, because their job is not as easy as you think it is. They're not. It's a lot that goes into their job. They have to make sure the pastor is comfortable, the pulpit is comfortable, you're comfortable, the order of service is going as planned. They have a lot of things that they're responsible for besides worrying about you coming late and fighting with them over a seat and fighting with them because you didn't get a Martin Luther King fan. Those fans, you got to come on time to get the Martin Luther King one. And if she hands you the envelope for the tithe, stop snatching it out of her hand because you got an attitude because you don't want to tithe. Just be polite about it. Take the envelope, put your tithes on layaway, pay on them, have a way you do it. Long as you give and you give from an honest heart and a sincere place, your giving will be blessed. But it's not her fault because you chose not to say because you don't have it. I respect those that don't have it. But for those of you that have it and you chose not to, that's not the usher's fault. You don't visit that on her or him. And their job is very, very detailed. They have to make sure the service run in order. And they got to make sure the pastor, he's comfortable. The pulpit is comfortable. The choir members, they're getting up when they're supposed to. They got to make sure when the offering is coming, especially if it's a large church, everybody is in line and going up like they're supposed to. And then when, somebody break out into a shout and tear up the whole row that they're sitting in, they got to make sure people ain't going to the hospital behind all that. Because I know when I was going to church, now they do have churches now that have a lot of order to when people break out to those shouts and tear up the whole row. They have a team now that would go, and as soon as that person shows any sign of breaking loose like that, they have a team now that goes over to them and put them in a circle and let them do what they do. But I know when I was going to church when I was much younger, no, we didn't have a team. But me, I figured out who that person was, and I always made sure I didn't sit nowhere near them, because once they broke out like that, into their praise or whatever, they left the whole row looking like a crime scene. They stomped on toes, knocked off wigs, tilted over hats. So much went on in such a little bit of time. And then you look at the person that did all that, they're sitting down and they're breathing really heavy, but they're okay physically. But anyway, now the ushers they do a whole lot of stuff that we don't even know that goes into their job. They have a lot that they have to cover in one service. So my weekly tip this week is honor them, respect them. You got 15 kids that you bring in with you. I commend you, but just try to keep them in order, and don't make the children know that talking out in church and yelling out in church and doing their own thing, don't let them think that that's okay. It's not okay. And the ushers probably will come and say something, and then you want to get up and get Shaniqua on them and argue with them and fight with them in the middle of service. That's not good. And you're standing in a place in the holy place where that is not good for you to do that. So tell them thank you and honor them. If you chose to, give them a card of appreciation. You'll be surprised, because their job is not easy as you think. And until you have experience working with the public, I have experienced it. I got nothing but respect for anybody that works with the public or do anything with the public. I work with the public, been doing it for the last all my life really. But this particular job, I've been on it for 17 years. And I have seen and heard some things that all I can say is, Lord have mercy. And had I not known God the way I do, oh my Lord, I'd have been in the system so many times. The public is not easy. They don't make it easy for you. Not everyone, but there are those people out there that make it their mission to go around and try to I call them joy snatchers. And when you come across a joy snatcher, they'll say and do anything just to snatch your joy. So my whole thing is respect the ushers and understand that their job is not as easy as you think. I honor each and every person, usher, and any person that will serve like that. I honor you all. I love you all. I respect you, and I thank you for what you do. You all have a blessed week.